When you talk about what separates a great designer from a bad one, there's lots of things that tend to come up. Things like passion, things like intelligence, talent, location, and desire. But the biggest thing I think, and the one that people don't really appreciate, is learning and committing to a lifetime of learning. This is AADA, and I'm Craig Burgess. Let's face it, being a designer isn't easy. It's so important to keep up with so many things, and lots of these things change a lot. You've got to keep up with culture to make sure that the work that you're doing is relevant. You've got to keep up with the news and current events to make sure that you can ground your work in reality. And you've got to keep up with trends. Trends can be one of the hardest things to keep up with, and one of the most time-consuming, because trends are fickle. And I'm not saying that designers should make trendy design. I'm the last person on earth to suggest something like that. But it's important to understand the current design trends to either implement them in your work or completely avoid them, so you can make something that looks timeless but that's not old-fashioned. There's something else though that's really important to a designer, and that's technology. Now, technology changes so quickly, and designers need to keep up with it. It's revolutionised, and some may say democratised, the world of design once before, with the introduction of the Macintosh, and I think we're currently experiencing a similar thing again with the rise of tablet devices, and the potential that a tablet device opens up for all kinds of design work and rapid prototyping and all sorts of stuff like that. But to make sure we keep up with all this technological stuff, we have to make sure that we're always learning, and in another way, you could call it curiosity. Curiosity feeds into a lot of this, and to be an amazing designer, curiosity is really important. The best designers I know are perpetually curious about the world that they live in. They don't take anything at face value. They don't see a news story and think that that's the full story. I think this is a thing of, and as much as I hate to say the term, being in marketing, because we're used to working for companies and manipulating the public opinion and image of companies, we know and understand how easy it is to manipulate the public image of anything. That leads most designers to be generally cynical of most things that they see, and that leads them to being curious to find out the truth, because if you don't, you fall behind and slowly become a worse designer. A designer's journey is one that never ends, because a designer is always trying to improve, and a designer is always trying to fill up their bank of ideas and inspiration and ways to solve problems. Part of a designer's curiosity and passion for learning comes from this. They know that they need to keep seeking, keep learning, and keep wondering how things work, because it'll make them a better designer. If you as a designer stay the same as the day that you came out of college, over the years, you'll just slowly shrivel up and die as a designer. Staying curious and committing to a lifetime of learning is the only way to stay relevant. This was AADA, and I'm Craig Burgess. Music featured in this episode was No More Truth by ROZKOL, Sacred Motion by staRpauSe, and End of the Line by HLR. For a line-by-line rundown of this episode, go over to askadesigneranything.com/EP104. I'm back tomorrow for another episode of AADA, and I hope you join me. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you then.